So you have 1,000 Ghana cedis to 10,000 Ghana cedis that you want to invest, but you don't know where to put it. In this video, I'm going to be talking about 2 markets that you can put the money in or you can invest your money in. And when I talk about markets, I'm not talking about the markets where you go and buy cool BMO money. No, this is a financial market. This is where you're going to see buyers and sellers of assets and instruments. So basically, 2 of the most popular financial markets we have in Ghana is the equity market and the fixed income market. And these are 2 places you can invest your money so easily. It's so easy to get into, and I'm going to just get on the screen and show you guys how to do this. So one thing I always tell people is not to complicate investing, because you want to make it as simple as possible so that it's something that you want to stay consistent with, right? And you know, it could be quite difficult, especially when you are now starting out and you don't know where to put your money. You always hear that, oh, you should invest, it's good to invest, but it's quite difficult if you don't know where to put your money. And in my previous video, I talked about the whole process, what you should start with before you get into investing. It's a great video, you can watch it, but today I'm going to talk about where you can invest your money. So we have the equity market, and this is basically a market in which shares are issued and traded either through exchanges or over the counter markets. It could be quite difficult to understand this if you're just starting out, but basically the equity market, this is where businesses like Farm Mill, Car Bank, GCB, they are listed on an exchange where you can buy part of that company. So basically what you buy is called a share, and when you buy that share, it means you are a part owner of the company and you can share in the profits that the company makes. So either through dividends, that's when the company pays you part of its profits, or capital appreciation, that's when the share price you bought increases in value so that you can sell it at a higher price. So you buy maybe something at 1 Ghana cedis, it's increased because of the performance of the company. That share increases to 5 Ghana cedis, and you sell it at 5 Ghana cedis to make a profit of 4 Ghana cedis. So simple. The next market is the fixed income market, and this is made up of the treasury bills and the bonds market. Now, treasury bills is just the short form. So any fixed income security that is 1 year or less is a treasury bill. Any securities, fixed income security that's 2 years and above is mostly a bond. So bonds are mostly long term and bills are mostly short term. So I think that's like a beginner friendly something for you to understand. In Ghana, a treasury bill is a short term investment issued by the Bank of Ghana. So it's issued by Bank of Ghana on behalf of the government of Ghana to borrow money from citizens for development purposes. So basically you're borrowing money to the government, and after a period the government will pay you back with interest. So mostly the treasury bills are 3 months, 6 months, and 1 year. And with the bonds, like I said, 2 years, 5 years, blah blah blah. Okay. So you can check bonds too. A bond is a fixed income investment that represents a loan made by an investor to a borrower, usually a corporate or governmental. So one thing you should note is it's not only for governments. Corporate institutions can also issue bonds. It's not as common in Ghana, but there are a few corporate companies. I think the most recent one I noticed was Casa Preco. They issued a corporate bond, and it's basically the same thing. You loan them money for a period and they pay you back with some interest afterwards. Another thing that I would say is that with the corporate one, because it's an institution, it's more risky than the government. You expect government to pay you back your money because it's government. With corporate institutions, there's a lot of factors behind it, so it's usually a little bit riskier than the government ones, right? Yeah, so one thing to note. Then we have mutual funds. So mutual funds is a company that pulls money from many investors and invest the money in securities such as stocks, bonds, and short-term debt. So usually some people find it difficult to invest their small sums of money. So maybe you have only 100 Ghana cedis, you want to invest, but with shares, you could buy something, but it's not really significant. Treasury bills as well, you really wouldn't make the most out of it. So what usually people do is they go in for mutual funds, and this is where a fund manager of a particular company has, instead of buying those individual shares, you are buying the shares of this fund manager, and he puts all those money together and he invests it because he thinks he has knowledge of the market and he can outperform the market. So outperform the market is to make returns above the average return of the market. Usually Ghana we use the treasury bill rate. So if the fund manager wants to outperform the market, he should make returns above the treasury bill rate, right? And I'll show you where you can get the information for treasury bill rate and whatever. Now, to invest into all these things, you need something called a broker. And where can you find it? The Ghana Stock Exchange. This is the most simplest place to get any information. There are a lot of other website platforms, but this is one information, because usually Ghana Stock Exchange are the regulators of every instrument or securities. So they give you all the information you need. So before I show you where the brokers you can find the information, you can see that all the companies are listed. So this is what we call a ticker. So a ticker shows, it's like the shortened form of a company name, right? So so FML is like Farm Milk, GCB is Ghana Commercial Bank, GGBL I think is Ghana Guinness. Is that Ghana Guinness? Yeah, I think Ghana Guinness Brewery or whatever Limited. Yeah, I think GLE. This is a ETF. I'll explain that later. Go. I don't know the meaning of this company. MTN Ghana. So you can see the company, and the number there is the current share price. So you could see with MTN, you can see it's 307. So if you wanted to buy one share of MTN at the time that I'm recording this video, you have to spend 3 Ghana cedis, 7 pesos, 0.7 pesos to buy one MTN share, right? And depending on the performance and sentiments, the price increases then decreases, right? So maybe I am bullish on MTN. Bullish means I think MTN is going to perform relatively well and the price is going to increase. So I buy MTN 3 Ghana cedis, 70 pesos. Then maybe based on whatever happened, MTN performs well. They release their earnings increases, whatever growth increases, profits increases, then at the end of maybe next 3 months, the price could go to 5 Ghana cedis. At that 5 Ghana cedis, when I sell MTN, I make a profit. Also, when I buy that here, MTN would be paying me dividends. Not all companies do pay dividends, though, but MTN I think MTN is one of the most consistent companies that pay dividend. But dividends is not guaranteed. A company can choose to or not pay dividends depending on performances and whatever. So it's not like a guaranteed. So let's say you bought MTN because of dividend and they don't pay, you become upset. No, it's not guaranteed, but then it's most companies give it on a consistent basis. Some don't. I think Bank used to give out dividend, but because of the crisis that happened, there's a financial crisis that happened. Should I call it a financial crisis? The banking crisis, whatever. The domestic debt exchange program that happened. They had a lot of losses, so they chose not to pay dividends. I think they've not paid dividends for the past 2 years now. So something for you to note. And let's go. So the brokers, back to the brokers. So when you go to the trading, you can see all the products here. Equities, I explained it. Bonds, I explained it. ETFs, I'll explain it probably in another video. Then you go to licensed dealing members. So here you see the list and details of all the licensed dealing members. So these are regulated brokers or licensed brokers who have been given the mandate to invest money on your behalf, right? And you can see the list of them. It just goes. So you can do your research and see which one works for you. We have Amber Securities, Black Star, Bullion, CHD, Constar Capital. So when you click it, you see all their information here. The company, location, address, telephone. You can give them a call, email them, ask them go through their website, whatever. Like everything is here. You can see all of them, all the licensed daily members. And even if you go through other market participants, you get to see more of them, more companies. Yes, so broker dealers, non-primary dealers, primary dealers, bond market specialists. You can see all of them, and you can go through the list and try and just use ChatGPT or Google to try and search for the meaning of these things, right? I'm trying to be as fast as possible. Just know that not all of them trade in certain instruments. So some companies might trade in only fixed income, some might trade in fixed income and equities, some only equities, right? So make sure you do that research and know what you are comfortable with. Even when you go to listing too as well, yeah, you can get a list of all the licensed companies. This is for equities, right? So all the listed companies here, you can get information about them: Access Bank, Agricultural Development, Bensol Oil, Car Bank. So you can get all the listed companies here and do whatever research. These are the corporate bonds. You remember when I was talking about corporate bonds? These are the companies that do the corporate bonds. So you have Israel, Leshigo, Bayport, Ghana Bank. I don't know where's. I'm trying to find. I don't think they've updated it with the Casa Preco, but I don't think it's here. But yeah, so basically, you can get a lot of information on the Ghana Stock Exchange. It's very, very, very great for a lot of information. There are a lot of other websites and apps that I think if you go into the industry, you'll be able to use and benefit from. But for the beginning stage, this is all you need. It's very great. You get everything. So I think I'll list two of the most popular brokers, and this is not a recommendation. It's just what I've used, and I think if you want to start out, is two of the easiest ones to start out with, and this IC Securities and Black Star Advisors, right? So IC Securities, easy. You just go to IC Wealth. They have an app too as well, so you can do the get my the app or register. So you can see to the invest in mutual funds, stocks, and fixed income. That's bills and bonds. You say you are an individual. Then you list all your information. They'll create an account for you, create a CSD for you if you don't have one. If you already have an existing CSD, you can also fill it. I explained CSD in my previous video, so you can go and watch it if you don't understand what that is. And also, I think there are a lot of great resources, especially on YouTube out there. That's why I'm just doing like a quick summary. I don't really want to go deep into the whole explanation because I've realized there's a lot of videos that have already done that, and it's so easy for you to research and get that information. Also, if you use IG, I want to recommend an IG page you can follow. They do a lot of great explanation when it comes to the financial markets. It's called Dream Funds GH. You can click the link. I probably will leave it down below in my video. So yeah, it's a great place. You can also get some great financial advice. So you fill all the form, they'll create for you. The same way Black Star Group. You click it, yeah, you can log in, you can open an account. They have an app too as well. So these are two of the great brokerage firms you can use. Create the account. Then when you create the account, they create a CSD for you. You can start investing into equities, investing into treasury bills, investing into bonds. I explained all these things. Oh, sorry, I said I was show you where you can get the bonds interest rates, right? So that's the last thing I'm explaining, and I'll be done. You can also invest into mutual funds as well. They have a lot of great options, but you have to, the mutual funds, they are very, very different. That's why I said you can watch videos on it, or you can follow the Dream Funds GH, because there are different versions. We have some that invest largely into equities, some that invest largely into fixed income. So you have to look at your own risk profile. Fixed income treasury bills is in Ghana mostly the closest investment to risk free. So if you're someone who don't want a lot of risks, probably I'll recommend fixed income treasury bills. Maybe not bonds as of yet. I would have said bonds was the most risky, but then because of the whole domestic debt exchange program, if you're not aware, it's a whole thing. I'm sure you're aware. Everyone is aware of this. Because of what happened, it's a little bit risky, kakra, but then we have to wait because government says they want to start issuing bonds again in 2025. So we have to wait and see how that goes, and we'll be able to determine if it's a little bit riskier or still risk free. Then if you are more risk savvy, I would also recommend a little bit of equities, or like your portfolio should be more on equities and a little bit of fixed income. But the most important thing is diversification. It's better for you to don't just put all your eggs in one basket. Have a little bit of equity, a little bit of bonds, treasury bills. So let me just show you how you get the interest rates of the treasury bills, and I'm done with this video. I'm surprised about how fast I'm going. Bank of Ghana. You just go to Bank of Ghana, click the website. Ghana. And you can see the current 91-day treasury bill is currently at 15%. And I'll explain how the calculation works on how much you make. So 15%. You go down, go to weekly GOG T-bills auction results. Then you go to April. Sorry, the first one will usually be the most recent one, right? So I'm recording this video as of April 5th. I'm recording on a Saturday, April 5th, and the latest result is they always do the auction on a Friday, unless it's a holiday. Then they will do it either the day before the Friday, right? So if it's a holiday, if Friday is a holiday, they'll do it on a Thursday, but usually they always do the auction on a Friday. So I'm recording this video as of Saturday, and the latest auction results is simple. Don't let this thing scare you. It's so simple. Just look at the interest rate. This is all you need. The interest rate, this section. So you look at 91-day bill. You can see the amount tendered. Amount tendered is the people who wanted to invest. So they wanted to borrow their money to the government, right? They wanted to lend their money to government. And you can see what government accepted. So this is 3 billion Ghana cedis. So people submitted bids or lended government 3 billion Ghana cedis, but government said no, I want only 1.4 billion per. So they rejected some people's own, and the rejecting it has to do with, because you are giving government money, so you have to tell them the rate that you want for them to pay. So the government chooses if they want to accept or not. Or you can do a non-competitive. Non-competitive means you make the government decide. Yeah. So mostly if you invest with a Black Star, they usually will do non-competitive for you, unless maybe you have a huge amount and you want to get the most out of it. Then you would probably want to increase the rates you want to get or something like that. But usually you do non-competitive, right? So that means you would just tell them that you want to buy at the prevailing interest rates. They just send it, and governments will give you the rates you want. So don't be scared about this base accepted. The base accepted and the bid tendered. Even if this doesn't happen, you can buy on the secondary market. Hey, I'm explaining a lot of things, but forget. It doesn't matter. So the interest rate right now, so 91-day bill is 15.6499. So almost 15.6%. 182 is 6 months. 6 months is 16.5%, and the 364-day is 18.8%. So these are the interest rates, and this is how you are able to determine what are the interests you're going to make. Now, before I end the video, the calculations, sometimes people get confused because they see 15%, 16%, 18%. They are like, oh, so after 3 months I can get 15%, and 1 year I'll get 18%. So let me just do 3 months. Why can I do 3 months 15% and 1 year 18%? It's not that much, right? But listen, it's divided by the period that you are investing for. So what they are saying is that if you invested the 91-day bill, that's 3 months, for a year, that's when you get 15%, right? So if you don't invest for the whole year and you invest for only that 3 months period, it is divided by 4, because there are 4 3 months in a year. I don't know if that makes sense. We have 4 3 months in a year. So if you had invested for that 4 3 months period, you'd have gotten a full 15%. But because you're investing in just 1 3 months period, you are getting just 1/4 of that interest rate. So if you are investing for only 3 months, it will be 15% divided by 4, and you get a result. So I'll put it here. So that would be the actual return you make on your money. So instead 1,000 Ghana cedis, if you are investing 1,000 Ghana cedis for 3 months, you are not getting 150 Ghana cedis because of the 15%. You get divided by 4, whatever the results, you get it here. The same works for the 6 months, because there are 2 6 months in 1 year. So you divide it by 2, instead of 16%, you get 8%, right? And the last one has to do with 1 year, they're 364, but that one's a full year, so you get the actual 18%, right? So I think that's the end of the video. Thank you so much for watching. I hope this inspired you guys to start investing, for you to know where to invest your money. If you think this video was great or you had some value from this video, make sure to subscribe, like, and comment any question that you have below. I'll be glad to answer and just have any conversation with you. Thank you so much, and see you next time. Peace.